What's up guys, it's Nicole, also known as Nikki Vegan, and in today's video I'm going to show you 3 semi-homemade desserts that are not fancy, they're not fussy or complicated, and they're really easy to make. I'm calling them semi-homemade desserts because we're taking a little bit of help from the store and putting our own finishing touches on them to make them feel really homemade and homey and cozy, but with minimal effort. First up, I'm going to show you how to make a vegan coconut cream pie. This is really simple, but so flavorful and definitely a crowd pleaser recipe. Then I've got my summery berry parfaits that look kind of ordinary, kind of simple, but they are crazy tasty because I've got some tips that are really going to help bring out all the summery flavors. It really just tastes like summer in a bowl in the best way, and I've got a great money saving tip that you're going to want to know about. Finally, I saved the best for last, which is my brown sugar spoon cake. If you've never had a spoon cake before, this is so good. It is ooey, it is gooey, it is warm, it's served with ice cream. It is absolute heaven in a bowl, and I can't get over it. I've been eating it nonstop, so I'm really excited for you guys to check this one out. I teamed up with Thrive Market to show you how I get a ton of my baking essentials for semi-homemade recipes online. I can basically click the vegan filter and anything that's not vegan just goes right away, so I don't have to worry about reading labels or anything like that, and everything gets delivered to my door in recyclable packaging, and it's much less expensive than the regular grocery store. So I will put a link for you guys to try Thrive Market and a list of some of the baking essentials that I always have in my cupboard in the description box below, so you can use that as a little grocery list. But for now, let's get started because there's so much deliciousness waiting for you. I'm going to start by making a vegan coconut cream pie, and for the filling I'm just going to combine some store-bought vanilla pudding mix with cream of tartar and some canned coconut milk. The full recipe and the measurements can be found in the description box below. I'm going to whisk this together either by hand or you can use a hand whisk if you like. And one of the best things about making a semi-homemade dessert is that you can use ingredients like instant pudding mix to make sure that you're saving yourself some time. I'm also going to take some help from the grocery store with a pre-made graham cracker crust, and I'm just going to fill my crust with this pie filling, and then I'm going to put it in the fridge so that it can set and firm up. I usually let it go overnight, or sometimes I'll do this in the morning after breakfast, and that way it's ready for later on in the day. But this is what it looks like when it's set, and I'm gonna add another layer of coconutty goodness with some coconut whipped cream. I have my recipe for coconut whipped cream in the description box below. Definitely check it out if you've ever struggled to make good coconut whipped cream at home, because there are some hacks that I've learned through trial and error that I think will definitely change the game for you. For example, did you know that the way that you open a can of coconut milk can actually change the outcome of your coconut whipped cream? I know that sounds crazy, but it's true, and little stuff like that can make all the difference, so check that out. Now when I'm decorating this pie, I like to leave the edges bare so you can see a bit of the graham cracker crust, a bit of the vanilla coconut filling, and then the whipped cream will be on top. And optional but fun is to do a little decorating hack that I love to do with a spoon. So you want to make sure you have a cold spoon, either run it under cold water or put it in the freezer for a few minutes, and you're just going to make little swoopy motions like this. And you can do this with whipped cream or frosting on a cake, but it's a really cool way and an easy way to make it look a little bit fancy and kind of special, and I'm not going to lie, it's pretty fun too. The last layer of coconut flavor is going to be from some toasted coconut. I get this on Thrive, and honestly, I put this on my oatmeal, I put it in granola, I put it on my pancakes. It's super delicious, and it really adds another layer of flavor, and it's also just really pretty on this pie. This pie is so great because you have that crispy, crunchy graham cracker crust, you've got that really smooth, creamy filling, and then the coconut whipped cream to tie it all together. It is so good, so simple, but just so good. You've got to give this one a try. Again, the recipe is in the description box below. Now these summer berry parfaits are one of my favorite desserts for summertime. They're perfect for a lazy summer day because they're really easy, and they're just bright and fresh and really natural tasting, which is great for a hot summer's day. Now I know that a dessert that's based in berries is kind of expensive because berries are expensive. So what I like to do is to do some fresh berries and mostly frozen berries because those tend to be less expensive. And what I will do is I will start by reserving a few fresh berries to put on top. Putting them on top is going to kind of give the illusion that there's a lot more fresh berries in the dessert than there actually are, which will just make it feel a little bit fancier. For the remaining strawberries, I'm gonna hull them, and to do this, I just kind of gather the leaves on top. I'm gonna anchor my thumb on the top of the strawberry and then use a small paring knife to make a small circle around the stem, and that way I'm really just taking the stem off and I'm not losing too much of the strawberry. My grandma taught me this trick when I was a kid because she would always say that I was cutting off half the strawberry when I was trying to take the stem off. So now every time I do this, I think of her, and I'm pretty sure she would be proud. So I just combine the strawberries, the blueberries, and the frozen berries into a bowl, and then I'm gonna macerate them, which is basically just drawing out the natural juices from the berries to create a really flavorful sauce for this dessert. So I'm just gonna sprinkle on a little bit of sugar, and then in order to macerate them, you also need a little bit of acid. So I'm gonna do this with some fresh orange juice and some fresh lemon juice. And whenever I'm using the juice of a citrus, I also like to use the zest because that's where a lot of the flavor is. And I always make sure to flip over my grater because a lot of the zest will be on the bottom. Now you can stop there, but I also like to add some fresh herbs sometimes with desserts because I feel like it really just is an easy way to elevate the flavor profile. And I'm gonna go ahead and chiffonade some mint leaves for this. Now chiffonade also sounds fancy, but it's really simple. You're just going to go ahead and basically stack a couple of leaves on top of each other, roll them up, and then slice them really thin. When you unroll them, you'll have these pretty ribbons of fresh mint, and this works really well for a garnish. You can also do basil if you like. Basil and berries is strangely a really delicious combo, and you could do basil and mint if you want, why not? I'm gonna take a little bit more help from the store with some vegan vanilla yogurt. You could also do ice cream if you like, and you can layer this if you wanna do like proper parfaits, or you can just spoon it on top however you like. I sometimes will crumble up some like Biscoff cookies or some graham crackers, some vegan graham crackers for some crunch, but I also like to decorate with some fresh mint and some lemon zest because I think whenever you're decorating a dish, it's a nice idea to decorate with what is actually inside the dish. So right away people know, oh, there's lemon, there's citrus, there's mint. It's just a nice touch. And as you can see, the fresh berries are right on top, which makes it seem like there's a lot more of them. I saved the best for last because this brown sugar spoon cake is honestly so good. It is a must-have summer dessert because it is just so like homey and cozy and comforting and so flavorful. And one of my favorite parts about it is that it uses a store-bought cake mix. So I'm gonna use one from Thrive, and I love that the mix itself is vegan and gluten-free. And when you flip over the bag, you'll see that they actually already wrote out the vegan method of making the cake so that you don't have to guess about, you know, which egg replacer to use or anything like that. It's all there waiting for you. But you can use any cake mix you like. I will put some instructions for how to veganize other types of cake mixes in the description box below. Then I'm just gonna take some melted vegan butter, and I'm gonna create kind of a caramel sauce with some brown sugar. I'm also gonna add some walnuts and some dates, and the walnuts are gonna get nice and toasty, and the dates are gonna get really gooey and caramelly. And I'm taking a little bit more help from the store with some canned peaches. These are already peeled and sliced and ready to go. It's super, super easy. So I'm just gonna mix this together and spread it out in an even layer. Now I'm just making the batter for the cake, and I'm combining my wet ingredients first. Instead of using eggs, this is going to use applesauce and cornstarch. And you might be thinking that sounds really weird, but applesauce has pectin in it from the apples, and cornstarch is a starch, and both of those work to bind. So you're basically getting the same effect, like eggs will bind a batter together. So does pectin and so does starch, and it's a natural way to basically replace eggs. So you can still make really delicious baked goods without using eggs with a couple little hacks like that. I'll put some more of my favorite vegan egg substitutes in the description box below. Then you just want to go ahead and dollop the batter on top. You don't want to pour it on because you don't want to disturb the caramel peach mixture that we made on the bottom. So I kind of dollop and then I will spread it on. And always make sure that you're using a spatula whenever you're getting those last little bits of batter out of a bowl. It seems like an unnecessary step, but I'm always so amazed at how much more I get if I use a spatula. Now this is called a spoon cake because it's a really tender, gooey cake. It's not like a fluffy, light, spongy cake. It's like a dense, warm, buttery, gooey, brown, sugary, caramelly cake that is served warm with ice cream. I usually honestly have it in a bowl with a spoon. It's definitely the kind of thing that you're gonna wanna eat after a long summer's day. It's so, so good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please send a link to the video to a friend or family member who may also enjoy some easy recipes. I feel like semi-homemade, simple but really delicious vegan desserts are the kind of thing we could all use a little bit more of right now. So if you know someone who might enjoy that, go ahead and send them a link. That really helps my channel out and hopefully they'll enjoy these desserts as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already, and check out the description box below for a link to Try Thrive Market as well as all the recipes that you saw in this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and I will see you in a video very soon.